It is a wonderful day to sell Scentsy. Yes, it is. All right. Happy Tuesday. Happy new week. Happy almost middle of the month, September. You guys, when I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're almost like halfway through the first month of the brand new catalog, into the Harvest collection. We can almost see the holiday collection, right? Like we see all of this great stuff happening, and you guys, let me just pause for a quick moment. You guys are killing it. Okay, can we just I'm just saying, this month is on fire. Okay, you guys are doing great, huge, amazing things in your businesses. And I think for me, that is almost more exciting to see you guys working your businesses and watching them grow. And let me tell you from experience, you may not feel like you're growing in the moment, right? When you're in the middle of a long, hard week, right? The last thing that you can probably think about or want to think about is, oh, look at what I accomplished this week. Or, oh, I did something that I normally wouldn't do. Or I did get to check that one thing off my to-do list, right? We tend to like squash all of our little small victories and like dust them under the rug. And then we focus on like the big things, right? Like, oh, well, I didn't promote this month. I wanted to, or I didn't have someone join my team, or I didn't get the laundry done when I needed to get the laundry done, or I let it sit there and didn't fold it for 3 days, right? Whatever it is, right? We usually tend to do that to ourselves, and I have become more intentional with how I speak to myself. Because I am the first person to tell you that I will probably... I talk badly, like to myself, about myself to myself, right? Like I do. And maybe that's just a Jacqui thing. Maybe I'm alone in that. I don't know. I don't think so though. Because, you know, like you wouldn't say things to other people that maybe you would say to yourself. Like yesterday, I felt like a complete failure. Okay. Work was just, it was a long mental day. Then I came home, I had some work I needed to get done. I had some projects I was working on and I was getting them done. But even though I was making headway, I wasn't feeling like I was making headway, right? Like I couldn't like gauge the progress that I had done. And then I had to study for a test coming up, and my brain right now is mush from linear equations and all kinds of math that, trust me, you don't want to know. But last night I finally just sat there and I was like, okay, I need 30 minutes before I go to bed. I literally had 30 minutes to myself before I went to bed. And I was just so drained mentally, physically, emotionally, all the things that what did I end up doing? I ended up just like pulling up TikTok and just scrolling for literally 30 minutes. And then I looked at the clock and I was like, okay, it's 10 o'clock. I got to take my butt to bed so I can wake up and do all this stuff all over again. And I went to bed feeling like a failure. And I woke up this morning feeling like a failure. Now here's the thing. As my day went on, I realized, I was like, why am I in this funk? Why do I just feel like I'm... And it took me a little while to actually sit down and kind of reflect on it, right? So I had to I went and got a hot tea. And so when I went to go get my hot tea, I took that time to just kind of reflect, and I was just trying to figure my head out. Like, why am I in this headspace? Why am I feeling like this? And like I said, I had done it to myself. Because I had told myself that I wasn't doing enough in my business. I had told myself that, oh, I should have fixed that at work when this happened. I should have studied longer and maybe taken some more time on the science side. Last night, and I didn't do it, and now I'm stressed about the test coming up. And but here's the thing, you know what I did do yesterday? I got through work successfully. Okay, I worked my business successfully. I actually got a whole lot done. I actually got more done than I actually really realized that I got done. My studying paid off because today when I was on my lunch break and I was picking back up on my study time, the equations that I was working on, I was like, oh, I got this. And I was able to figure out those equations without like looking back and checking my notes. That means that what I did yesterday actually worked. So it was about halfway through my day that I was like, you know what? I just completely self-sabotaged myself. And I took away all my little small victories for absolutely no reason. Why did I do that? I think sometimes we do that to ourselves. I think we do. And I think that maybe we need to be more intentional with celebrating the things that we are doing. And for some of you, it may be I made my very first sale. It may be I had my first opportunity conversation. I sold my very first whiff box. I had my very first customer subscribe to Scentsy Club. Or I checked my workstation every single day this week. I sent out follow-ups to all of my customers this week. All of those things, regardless of how small or how big you think they are, is really going to set your mindset and your tone for how you move forward. So again, remember the beginning of my day, I was just in this whole funk. I was in my head. I was just thinking like, I should be doing more. Here's the real fact of it, right? Like I'm doing enough. I'm at capacity. I'm at capacity, but I'm not giving myself credit where credit is due. And as we're working our business, as we are living our lives and going on with everything else going on, right? We tend to forget those things. So going forward, I am going back. I don't want to say to the basics, but kind of to the basics. I'm going to take myself back to my 3 top takeaways at the end of every day. Now, you guys know I'm a planner, okay? Those of you who don't know, I love my digital planner. So that's usually the very last thing that I do, like I did last night right before I scrolled TikTok for the 30 minutes. I will go through my planner. I write down my daily numbers. So I log back into my workstation. I write down my PRV, my TWV, active frontline. I go, I just write all those things down every day. That goes in the planner for that day. I will also write down what did I do? What did I accomplish, right? Like yesterday I was working on boards. So I was able to check that off of my list. I got some other stuff done. I got some emails taken care of. I did some follow-ups. I had a couple conversations throughout the day. And as I was writing all those things down, I am going to go forward and incorporate the top 3 takeaways from my day, or the top 3 things that I'm just proud that I did. And you know what? Some days are probably going to be better than others, right? Some days it may be, I did the laundry. It's number 1, right? Number 1, I got the laundry done. Number 2, I got a sale today. And maybe number 3 is I washed my hair and it looked really cute. So I took a cute little selfie, right? Whatever, right? It doesn't have to be huge, gigantic things. So that's one thing that I've taken away that I'm going to go forward with, because I need to make sure that in order for my cup to be full, right, to be able to pour out into others, I need to feel full. And I need to stop self-sabotaging myself in the process. So if any of you guys are in the same situation that I am, or find yourself doing the same things or close to it, whatever, I'm going to challenge you guys to do this with me, okay? So every single day, at the end of every day, you're just going to write down 3 things that are either your best takeaways from the day, or the top 3 things that you're like, I did it. I did these things, okay? And you're going to take that and you're going to move forward. Today, I thought it would be a really great thing, because I get asked this question a lot from team members, from other consultants, and it's, what do you do in your business? So for some of you, this may be repetitive, or some of you may already know. I work full time. I work in an operating room. I'm also going back to school, so I'm in nursing school. I do work this business full time as well. I'm a mom, Our youngest is 13 and a half. So that's fun. Teenagers are joyful. We have a grandbaby who's going to be 1 in November. And so getting over to spend time with him can sometimes be like, I need to be intentional about it, right? The house, taking care of everything, right? All of that piles up. So I do have a lot on my plate. I do. I'll be the first one to say it. And a lot of people could take that and say, well, then I don't have time for my business. But here's the thing. I just am very intentional with how I spend my time in my business. So for example, yesterday, I kind of give a theme to every day of the week. Mondays are my personal development days, or my personal business days, really. So it's something that I'm focusing on in my personal business, right? So yesterday, one of my big, I call it my BFPs, my big fat projects. That's like a project that like takes continuous work to keep it updated. And one of those is my boards. You guys know I love the app boards or website boards. You can use both. I do have a training out there on one, and I was realizing, because it's on my to-do list, that I need to finish the one from the mobile version, so that's coming. But I was going through and doing a good update in my boards app, and just going through and utilizing some new templates and making sure that all of the other ones that I have in there are current with fall, winter, with harvest, with the things that are coming up this month and going forward, right? Getting our team board together. So you guys have that as a resource. Just kind of updating it all. Also went through, updated a lot of my Google Docs yesterday for people when they join my team. When I send out the same email time and time again, I usually will use a Google Doc, and I will write everything up. So all I have to do is go in there, copy, and then paste into my email. So if you guys are looking for a shortcut, I love to work smarter and not harder. So it can sometimes be challenging, right? To write this whole email or all the steps out, right? If it's something that you're doing more than once, or you know you're going to use more often, put it in a Google Doc. Put it in a Google Doc, and then that way you can just copy and paste in an email, in a message, or wherever it is that you're sending it. Same way you can do with boards too, so you could do it in boards as well. But Google Docs is just one of those things that I've always used for certain things, and I can access it from any device. So whether I'm on my iPad during my lunch break or after work, or if I'm sitting here in the office, or if I'm on my phone and I'm mobile, maybe I am getting time to go play with my grandson, and maybe I want to get some work done, right? I just pick up the phone. I can access Google Docs from anywhere, right? Literally. So that's kind of what I did yesterday. Tuesdays are team day. They are all about team and training. So I will always do a Tuesday training. There have been maybe, I can probably count on one hand the many times that I've actually missed doing a Tuesday training. It does not happen very often. Sometimes they're pre-recorded, especially if I'm going to be doing like a hands-on training, so people can see my screen and get a good sight there. But otherwise, they're live here in this group, and then they go to YouTube. And then it's going through running my team reports, my group reports, doing all of that. And then I will usually on Tuesdays, I will usually kind of go through and make myself a to-do list for the rest of the week when it comes to like follow up on team things or group things. So anything that I'm participating in, maybe if I'm going to be a speaker for somebody or a group or what have you, or if I've got coaching calls, like that's the time to do all of those things. Wednesday in my world is really working Wednesday. I do try and get on working on the Wednesday that we do. Some Wednesdays I'm able to actually collaborate with my amazing friend, Melissa Gratz, and get with her on a cubicle session. So that's really nice to be able to work with her and her group of people. But either way, it's usually a work day. So I'm usually doing something that is more income producing. Sometimes it's samples. Sometimes it's updating my Canva flyers or mailers and printing them out, or doing Happy Mail, or going through and doing stickers, or, you know, what have you. So it's usually an income producing a true activity, right? So truly things that need to be done. And some days, some Wednesdays have actually been more of just like, I need to organize my desk kind of a day, because I don't know about y'all, but that happens frequently. Thursdays in my world is all about social media. So I will take time to sit down. I write a weekly customer email. So I will write that email. I will put the things in, because in the world of Scentsy on Thursdays, we usually will get a heads up as to what's coming next week, right? What's going to be coming out. And next week, we've got Disney villains. I know, because it's on my board back there, right? So we've got Disney villains coming out. So, right. So Thursday, I'm really going to be prepping for that, right? So I'm going to be scheduling posts. If I'm going to do a pre-order, right? I'm going to create that pre-order and everything, that job form. I'm going to do all those things, to get everything set up for that social media blitz that I kind of do for the upcoming week. So that's a Thursday. Fridays are follow-up Fridays, and kind of like follow up with all the stuff that I didn't get to. Because let's be honest, right? Some weeks get a little hectic, more hectic than others, right? And so there are things that maybe fell off during the week that maybe I need to follow up with, right? So it's not only just follow up with my customers, it's also follow up on the things that I didn't get done that I need to do. And then for me, Saturdays and Sundays, I am off work at the hospital, right? So Saturdays and Sundays can kind of be like a box of chocolates for me. It really depends on kind of what's going on with our family, if we've got stuff going on, if we've got stuff that needs to be done. If I've just got errands that I need to run for the household, right? Like going to Target and the grocery store and all the things and blah, blah, blahs. But I do try to take time on Saturdays to do like some, more or less like my wax change. I will try and do some, like reels. I'll try and record reels or take some pictures, things like that I can use throughout the week, because I do have a little bit extra time, right? I'm not at my full-time job on Saturday and Sunday. So I really kind of take that time to maybe get that done. And sometimes it drives my husband nuts. He'll be like, why are you cleaning? Why are you doing all this? And I'm like, because I got to take pictures, right? I got stuff to do. And then on Sundays, I really do try to get some relaxation in so I can reset on a Sunday. I try and I try and I try. Now, that's not to say that I'm not usually sitting out there on the couch, maybe watching Schitt's Creek for the 800th time. But I'm probably doing some behind the scenes work, or maybe I'm just catching up on some things, or maybe I'm pinning things to Pinterest, right? Whatever it looks like. So Sunday's kind of a reset day, and I also utilize that time to then plan the week. So of course I've got my iPad, so I'm planning out what I'm going to do in the upcoming week. That's a week in the life of Jacqui, okay? And that's just Scentsy. It's not everything else. But if you notice, I'm taking time a little bit each day to touch on different aspects of my business, right? So even though life gets crazy, life gets hectic, if I, for whatever reason, maybe I'm sick, whatever, something's come up, I've got class, whatever, and I can't do my Scentsy business, at least I know what I'm missing or what I need to get done when I have the time to catch up, maybe on Follow-Up Friday, right, when I'm catching up. But I have a real good place to where I can jump right back in the next day, right? So if it's maybe a Wednesday that I fell off the board, I know on Thursday, okay, Thursday I'm still going to do like my social media blitz and all of that. But hey, what didn't I get done on Wednesday? Did I not print enough flyers? Or maybe I need to print those out while I'm getting some other stuff done on Thursday, right? So I can literally just jump right back in. So it really does help having that blanket theme to my week, right? Because again, I don't feel like lost in my business if something goes wrong, or if I need to take a day off, what have you, right? I can pick right back up, or I can just see, okay, I didn't get to those things yesterday. I'm just going to put them on the plate for tomorrow, or I'll put that on the plate for Friday. It can wait till Friday, and then I'll take care of it then. So I would encourage you guys to really, really think about this for your own personal schedule, because here's the thing. Your schedule is probably going to look completely different than mine. And maybe you want to utilize some of my same themes. You want to use them for the same day. By all means, do what's going to work for you. But really sit down and look at your life and your business together. Because here's the thing, you guys. We talk about how Scentsy can bless our lives, and yes, it does bless our lives. It pays, her insert income disclosure here, right? But hello, the roof is here because of Scentsy, right? It's the roof that Scentsy pays for. Okay, so my business is important, right? But I also can't lose track of my why in all of that. And my why in all of that is to help my family and to get us in a better place, right? So you have to make sure that you're not forgetting about that piece of the pie, right? That why you're doing all the hard work in the first place. And the whole point is to incorporate Scentsy into your life, not your life into Scentsy, right? It's literally incorporating, it's bringing Scentsy in. So by doing this for me, right, I may not be in this office 8 hours a day. Some days it may only be 30 minutes. Some days it might be 2 or 3 hours, right? Depends on the day, depends on what's going on with the family and things like that, right? But either way, I'm being intentional with the time that I'm spending, and that's why I'm able to get things done. That's why here we are on the 12th of the month. I have over 1,000 PRV. We're right at 20,000 group wholesale volume. We are working hard, you guys. We are working hard in our business this month. And it's the 12th of the month, right? I'm not sitting here going, oh my gosh, where's my PRV going to come from this month? What is my paycheck going to look like this month? Because I'm not even close to where I need to be. Yes, I am. And that's because I am intentional with what I'm doing and how I'm spending my time. So take your life and work Scentsy into it. So again, maybe your life looks different. Your days could look completely different. And you're like, yeah, Wednesdays and Thursdays are done for me. I literally have no time. Or maybe it's Monday through Friday. I just don't have the time. Whatever. Take 5 minutes at the end of every day for yourself, for your business, and check in. Doesn't have to be a whole lot of time. Okay, that's the point here. It's really working it around your life. Probably should have brought my water in. So really look for how you can do that. A lot of you have younger kids, right? So you may have activities and things like that you have to do. Or there's family members that you take care of, right? Or yourself, right? That you have your own physical limitations. You just need to see, okay, what does a week in the life look like for me? And where can Scentsy fit in? The first hour of every day when I get home is here on my office. Some days, yeah, I will tell you, mentally, I am like, no, I'm not walking into that office today. It has been a day. I just can't. But what I will do is I will take my iPad and I will go work from the couch on my heating pad, because sometimes that's just literally how it is. But I'm being intentional with that time. I want you guys to take control back. I want you guys to feel in control with your business. And the one way to be able to do that is to truly plan it out. All right. You don't have to be a planner to do this, but you do have to have a plan for how you're going to do it. All right. So whatever that looks like, it can be a planner, it can be a notebook, it can be Post-it notes. Whatever is going to work for you is going to work for you. So that is just what I had to come and talk to you guys about this week, because school's back in session, right? The kids are back in school. We're kind of getting into that time of year where it might be getting a little busy. It might be getting a little hectic. There's lots of things going on. And I don't want you guys to lose sight of not only where you are in your business and how far you're coming and how far you are growing currently. Because again, I'm just going to shout you out now. You are doing amazing things. I don't want you to lose that momentum though. So in order to not lose it, you have to have a plan for that, right? So take some time this week, okay? Make it 10 minutes. Set the timer on your phone, whatever you need to do, and say, I'm going to take 10 minutes and I'm going to plot out, these are the things that I'm going to do each week, right? And make them be more of that high touch thing, right? It doesn't have to be, I'm going to make samples on Monday, right? It can just be, I'm going to do activities, right? Like IPAs on Mondays. On Wednesdays, I'm going to make it a point to read the workstation and go through the news tab of my workstation so I know what's going on and I kind of know what everything is, what's happening, right? And what's coming. Those are the types of things that I really want you to focus in on. And look at, you want a piece of it that's going to cover your personal business, because even if, well, when you have a team, even if you don't already, your number one focus at the beginning of every single month should be your own personal business. Because let me say it for the people in the back, if you're not working your business, your team is not going to carry you. Okay? You have to be working your business, and then your team needs to be working their businesses as well. Okay? So don't get it twisted. You have to be working your personal business, and you have to have a plan for that. All right? So whether you're having parties, shopping links, Scentsy clubbing it, however, fundraisers, whatever it is that you do, that you excel at and work at hard when it comes to your sales, that's where you need to focus, right? You also need to have a time of the week where you are doing follow-ups. You need to have a time where you're going to check in, right, with those customers. You also need to have a time to where you're reaching out, okay? So reaching out, more of that, you're going to have some sponsoring conversations, and that may look like posting on social media, things like that. It just really depends on how your business runs, okay? But you really want to sit at those higher levels. You want to do something that's going to help your PRV, your personal sales. You want to do something that's going to help your team, right? So diving in with your team. You want something that's going to help you grow your team. That's the sponsoring piece, right? And then you also need a piece of things that you're going to do to take in for your personal development. Because let me tell you, I've been doing Scentsy since January of 2012, and I still, to this day, at least watch 2 different trainings every single week about this business. You should never stop learning. Never stop learning. Continue to be learning your business. Always. If you do those things and you do them consistently and you do them intentionally, then your business is just going to literally blossom right in front of your eyes. And you know who's going to be there cheering you on. It's going to be me. Yes, it's going to be me. All right, guys, let's take control of the rest of September. We are going to finish off strong. I know we are, because we have started so strong. And I am so excited for you. So now I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to do some shout outs, because that's what time it is. All right, guys, I will catch you guys next week if I don't talk to you before. And let me know if you have any questions. Don't hesitate to reach out.